So, September 13th, approximately 1 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday, Redondo Beach on a pretty breezy late summer, early morning. I wanted to do a bit of a sort of a follow-up vlog. Now, if any of you have watched my Vegas video journal, I did mention in the video that a bit of my history with being homeless, alongside spending the very good chunk of 2010 in Las Vegas. I also divided my time between the beaches of Redondo Beach and in Santa Monica. I'll probably shoot video for that at some point. I never really was one for the beach when I was a kid, to be honest. Around 2007, 2008, my dad had gotten a medical position at a hospital in Santa Monica. And almost every weekend at the time, we would go to the farmer's market on 3rd Street, which would end with a trip around the city, checking out the beaches. I don't know, just, I'm like when I was a kid, I didn't find it boring at the time. It's so weird. I don't really have the proper feelings or words to explain it. Ever since then, I've, guess you can say, started to grow a love and affinity for the calmness and the gentleness of the ocean blue. Smell of it, the feel of it, putting your feet, touching the sand of the ocean. I've always found it very relaxing, very soothing, especially when I was feeling absolutely stressful and full of anxiety. Around the time when I was still driving, I'd always park my car right over there. Right over there behind me is a row of parking slots. Now I'd always take my Honda Fit here at around 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, just park in front of the ocean until the next day. I was never caught, surprisingly enough. I just have my laptop on in my car and just try to doze off. Around that time, I had made a couple friends with some of the locals here that would spend their late nights here. Right behind me, from the benches where we would commune. I had a particular friend at the time. I believe his name was Paul. Would just trade random stories about classic rock and music. He was a child of the 70s and shared his love of Fleetwood Mac, Stevie Nicks, and how he used to be the anchor of his own ham radio station. I believe it was Grundy Radio. It's a little vague. Lost touch with him after the period was over. But it's one of those random encounters that just hits me in my mind so randomly whenever I reminisce about those times. It's quite surreal, to be honest. There actually used to be a very popular punk rock club here, the Brixton. Used to operate, hasn't operated in quite a number of years. So here we are entering Redondo Landing. There's a little mermaid there. And I like the time when I was in Vegas so many years ago. I would wander around here in the Boardwalk, mostly alone, around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, stogie in hand, just contemplating about life and the future and just when I would be able to get out of that mess at the time. I was optimistic, don't get me wrong. Very much the same optimistic person that I was, but again, having gone through that time has given me so much of a perspective, to be honest. Just like back then, so many fishermen and their families would come here at around, well, graveyard hours, try to get some trout, milkfish, just quick grub to bring home, just enjoy the serenity of the ocean and what have you. I gotta say, it's pretty relaxing. It was a pretty bewildering time in my life, having to think back through all this after 10 years. When I was visiting Vegas back way last month, like, the emotions just ran very hard having to see those places, and I've made a lot of late night visits here even when the pandemic was going on, but coming here 10 years later makes me very thankful for all my struggles and what I've been through to get through to now, even though I have a long way to go, to be honest. I'm actually quite a bit sad that I never really learned to fish properly, to be honest. Now I'm going to show you guys the docks and the sort of wharfy part of Redondo Beach. Get to show you a bit of where the arcade used to be, fish market, all that fun, fantastic stuff. Now right here, they held a lot of live performances, festivals of the sort. Just when I was visiting here when I was a child, you can see how they installed tables here. It was pretty bare until a little recently. You see how the tables are socially distanced and what have you. Danger, Will Robinson, danger! Danger, Will Robinson, danger! Now, back when I was a child, I'm not sure if they were still doing this before the pandemic hit recently, but when I was a child, I actually got to take one of these boat rides offered here at the beach. I was really afraid of fast speeds and just like I was afraid of, falling off of the boat. But the I believe the quartermaster, said that the boat that we were to sail on was super smooth. It would go around the marina. Doesn't look like the boat is here. It should be docked right around here, from what I can remember. We're entering the International Boardwalk. This is where all the boats are docked for the night. I don't know, I've always found it very fascinating what the life of a fisherman is like, living on a boat. I think it sounds pretty cool, pretty dope. Oh, there's a seagull there. Hello. And he flies off. Or she, or they. Now right behind me is the local fish market, where you can get your fresh cuts of seafood delight, all freshly caught for the locals for a very fair price. I heard the fish and chips were pretty good, to be honest. And also right over here was the site of the famous Redondo Beach arcade, which has recently closed, I believe, as of last year. Now, I have absolutely so many childhood memories about the place. There was a tilt-a-whirl when you entered, and there was a lot of old-fashioned arcade boxes, old and new games. From what I can surmise, visited here quite often, a lot with my family. I believe one of the few games that I was addicted to at the time when we were visiting here, there was I shit you not, an arcade box based on Michael Jackson's film Moonwalker from 1988, I believe. When I was a child, I had a really huge, I had a huge kick on Michael Jackson's music. A lot of people teased me, especially when they were making jokes and those stupid allegations about him at the time. But I kid you not, I was always addicted to that arcade game. I would try to reach until the final level where he turns into a robot and destroys Joe Pesci's character from the movie. I have some sweet memories of that. There was also, I believe I was also addicted to a arcade box version of Star Wars Pod Racer. I also loved episode 1. That's a very unpopular opinion, but that's above and beyond. Who gives a crap? Yeah, so many childhood memories of this place. And I got to walking around the marina during the homeless period. Makes me really appreciate the simpler things. It's so great. It's also pretty lonely here right now during the pandemic. Of course, the place has adopted the CDC guidelines of social distancing and outdoor seating, all that jazz. By the way, fuck summer, fuck 2020. That's also beyond the point. During the summer, even in the very late nights, it was very lively. I'd remember drinkers right over there at the local bars, singing songs, drinking their beer. The air would not only reek of the ocean, the saltwater ocean, but it would also reek of piss and beer for some reason. I don't know why I remember that, but I remember. Thank you, childhood. Lobster Fest, where? Every September. Oh, damn. It is September. R.I.P. Redondo Beach Arcade. So many memories. All now locked behind a barricade wall. Just look how dead and barren the parking garage is right now. Except for a few cars, of course. It's times like this where I would always sit on the bench, have my natural American spirit in hand, staring at the ocean, just imagining conversations with the ocean god, I think. Crazy as that sounds, and just contemplate the shit out of everything, to be honest. Contemplate about the future, where I go from here as where I was supposed to go as a randomly awkward 19-year-old. Inspirations abound as a storyteller, to be honest. Just reflecting on what has been these past 10 years and how I've made it up to now, in spite of all the trials and tribulations in my life. Even I'm kind of shocked, to be honest. Quite thankful for all the experiences and the struggles that life has dealt me with. All the cards dealt. Just trying to traverse the oceans of the unknown, to be honest. It's actually in my honest and pure belief that no one should ever deserve to go through those circumstances of being. Nobody.